What is going on YouTube? It's FlopFish here, and welcome back to another edition of NHL 15 Hot Player Reviews. Today we are going over the two Team of the Week items I received this week that are featured on this week's Team of the Week, and we're going to start things off with Komarov of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The first thing I normally try to do with the player, especially a new player, is see how good they are at deking, and that's what I did with Komarov. I was kind of intrigued to see if he could pull off all the dekes, which he actually can. However, that does come at a cost, because in order to pull off some of the dekes, you're better off having a little bit of a slower player, which Komarov definitely is a slower player. He controls the puck a little bit better on his dekes at the expense of him actually being significantly slower than other players on the ice, and that's where he wasn't very effective. He wasn't good at using speed at all, so you couldn't play a speed game with him. You have to be very tactical with where you were going to go with him, what you were going to do, have your game plan set beforehand, and he couldn't really do a lot of stuff on the fly like I like to play. He didn't really fit in well with my play style, and defensively I felt like he was, your average defender. But again, if you're someone who likes to kind of cycle the puck, control the game a little bit more, he might be a good fit for you just because he is fairly solid at doing that. Again, he is not a fast player, and his hitting ability was kind of mediocre. Wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but hey, overall, I'd say his biggest strengths are by far his deking skills, and his biggest weaknesses are his speed and his faceoffs. His faceoffs were really brutal. I honestly ran Callahan at center over him because I found Callahan to be a little bit better as of a centerman. The second player I received this week was Chris Wideman of the Binghamton Senators, and he is a right defenseman, offensive defenseman, 75 overall, and he reminds me a lot of Erik Karlsson from NHL 14 Hot in the fact that he can skate decently well and he can deke in and out of defenders and really carry the puck well. That, I feel, are his strengths to his game. Again, he's not going to absolutely blow past people. He's not the fastest player on the ice, but I feel like he's pretty agile out there, which is one of his strengths, and he can kind of He's solid enough at doing his windmill dekes that you can cut in and around defensemen, and he's got a good pass, which again is always helpful on the defenseman. Again, very similar to Erik Karlsson in NHL 14 in the fact that he plays a bit like a fairy, for lack of a better term. He can dance his way up the ice from his own end and kind of skate you out of trouble, which is very nice to have in a defenseman. That being said, if I were to choose between the two Team of the Weeks with which one I want, I would be taking Wideman over Komarov, because Wideman actually worked his way from my third pairing up to my first pairing just because I found that he really worked well with Pietrangelo for whatever reason. They really gelled, and it was definitely a good complement pairing. But yeah, so those are the two Team of the Weeks this week. Again, if you're going to pick up one of them, I'd suggest trying out Wideman. He is the silver Team of the Week, which means he'll be a little bit harder to come by. But nonetheless, he's a guy that I feel is very strong in the role I play, in the game I play. He's a very strong rush player. So if you play a rush style game, you actually might enjoy playing with him despite his lower overall. Anyways, guys, hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Again, if you actually want to enter to win either Komarov or Wideman, leave a comment in the comment section below, and this time it's actually open to both Xbox One and PS4 players, so go ahead and leave your console and your gamer tag or PSN ID in that comment as well. As always, take it easy, and I will catch you guys on the flop side.